How's it going, guys? This is Robert from Machado Visuals, and I wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how I shoot corporate interviews. This is from a recent shoot I did with Bright Star Care, and they wanted to capture franchisee testimonials for franchise development. The cameras used were the Sony FS7 and A6500.
Is that alright?
I've been shooting a lot of 2-cam interview setups with this configuration lately, and the A6500 does a really great job at matching to the FS7. It does take a little bit of finesse in post, but the results are great. I spent a bit of time thinking about how I wanted to light the interviews, and I eventually came up with this top lit setup featuring the Shimura Triolet 1K and the Pancake modifier shooting through a DIY 4x diffusion frame. It's made of PVC pipe and a large bed sheet, and it does a great job of generating a super large soft source. The whole thing cost about $40, and I brought it to a ton of professional shoots. I wasn't too thrilled with the background, but it was the only room that the client was able to supply for us. It's not a huge deal, but sometimes you just have to deal with the cards that are dealt. I shot into a corner with a few practicals to add some depth to the frame as much as I could, and I haven't shot in this specific room before, but I took an educated guess that the house lights were going to be tungsten. This way I was able to design the lighting setup based on my tungsten kit and only bringing what I need rather than bringing a bunch of equipment I wouldn't use.
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded.
Ready to go. I wanted to go with the overhead setup because we had to get through a lot of different interviews, and I didn't want to have to worry about catching glare from people that were wearing eyeglasses. This way we could use the same setup without having to worry about tinkering with light placement, and we could just bust through all the interviews as quickly as we could. Our sound guy Q ran an MKH 8060 shotgun and Sennheiser AVX Lav into his Zoom F8. I absolutely love using the 8060 for dialogue. A lot of people think of it as a new and improved 416 that gives the human voice a nice punch while also still sounding really natural. It was really great being able to mix everything wirelessly, and since the Rode and Sennheiser systems are digital, we didn't have any issues with radio interference.
Pretty nice being able to sit down, just, be in a corner and then do sound, wireless, really good.
As we broke down gear, I dumped all our media into my new Samsung T5 external SSD, and everything was finished transferring before we even finished packing up. The thing cost a pretty penny, but it has been well worth it in my post-production workflow. Data transfers that usually take 2.5 hours can now be done in well under 30 minutes. So there you have it, a basic overview of how I shoot corporate interviews. If I were to do anything differently in hindsight, I'd switch the FS7 to a 50mm since the background wasn't that spectacular, and I'd probably also add some sort of specular bulb near the eyeline to establish more of a prominent eye light. To sum up, pick the best background you can given your location, plan your camera lighting setup, and don't skimp on audio. I hope this video helps in some way, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.